I guess we'll just go with it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we should be live on.
And I did
everywhere.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I did get the hype train emote, so thank you guys. Despite my issues, I got it. Should be pinned in Zoth chat. You're admin there, right? Or mod?
Should be.
Right.
Yo, what's going on, Theo? Welcome in.
Oh yeah, thank you, Sakura. I see it. Thank you. I'm not opening the YouTube stream because I'm scared.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
My webcam is never centered either. Because I have a curved monitor. And it's one of those that sits on top.
Gotcha. All right. I guess we'll be good to go. Order of the games. Are we want to do top 5, or we just want to talk about games? We don't really figure out how we're gonna bring up the best games. Do you have a top 5 list?
I do, but like 3 of them, or at least 3 of them are the same as yours. So
3 of them are the same. Okay, we can just go. We'll give our top 5. We'll talk about 5. So it'll be like, and we'll go from there. And if it's already the same, like if it gets to the same, we'll be like, okay, we already discussed this one. Why not? I don't even remember what my top 5 was. Do I still have that?
Well, you mentioned Eclipsium and Pizza Deathlivery, and I was going to do that. And R.E.P.O, obviously.
Outside the top 5 or in the top 5?
In my top 5.
Okay. What the fuck was my top 5? It was Among the Whispers 5? I don't fucking remember. I think it was Among the Whispers. I know R.E.P.O. Let me pull up my stupid
I play a lot of
video that I did so I can make sure I have this right, because it's been a minute. Okay. I wasn't sure of the order of the other one, but we got it. Okay. Good. All right. Do you want to give your number 5 first, or do you want me to?
Yeah, you do whatever. I'm following your lead as usual.
Okay. All right. So this is the behind the scenes stuff. This will be edited out. So it's what I'm going to do for the YouTube live stream. Instead of doing 2 uploads, I think it's just going to be easier I'm going to edit this live stream just for the podcast part. So we'll have all this, but then eventually I'll take it down, edit out, and then I'll send that into the podcast playlist. And then we'll take that edit to post around everywhere else. So you get special, never before seen, whatever. If you are here and care about anything, we will. I don't know if we'll talk. We'll probably between games address chat, do what we can. If anybody has any questions, if it's something that we'll talk about it later. But yeah, we'll get it straight. It's our second time doing a live recording of this. I think we want to try to record all of them live in the future because it went really well last time and it was a lot of good
Yeah.
conversation and stuff, and it went a lot
Yeah.
longer.
It's a lot of fun to do it this way. Yeah.
Yes, and it allows you all to do it. Now we will hopefully have better like set in stone, so it's not like last minute like, oh, we're going to do a podcast today, cuz we were not sure if it would be today or Friday or when. And there was a lot of stuff going on, but we'll get better about actually scheduling it out so people know in advance if they do want to be here for the live recording. So, but as always, I appreciate everybody. It was cool to see just how much I guess the podcast grew last year from when we started it, just with some idea to what it's evolved into. I'm happy with the results. So it's very, very good. But you
Yes.
ready to get started?
Start it up. Go.
All right. Welcome back to Lil Zoth of Horror podcast. As always, I'm Lil P, joined by Zoth, and first podcast of the new year. Happy New Year. I would ask how you were doing, but Zoth has decided to start the new year off proper in the worst way possible, so there's nowhere to go but up.
Yes, that's true. I never thought of that, but yeah, that's right.
Yeah, start of the year
I was
sick.
very sick.
Yeah, which is
the worst flu of my entire life. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, so
but I'm better now.
Finally, glad to hear that you are better. That's why we're releasing this podcast for the best of 2025 halfway through the month of January. So for those who are new here, we are considered the #1 indie horror gaming podcast. Nobody else will fight me on that, and if they do, please tell me about it. So I'm just gonna say it because I've not found a better one than this. So if you love indie games, you love indie horror games specifically, you want to hear games that you've never heard of and have some fun with it, that's what this podcast is for. And we're going to be highlighting some of the best indie horror games from 2025, what we're going to be looking forward to in 2026. And Kinetic may not be really considered an indie dev anymore, but he's kind of, it's interesting news, which I guess we talk about whenever. But did you see that they're releasing, like, they're going to be a publishing company too for indie games?
Really?
Yeah, they're
nice.
They're gonna be a publisher. So, did you say you would or wouldn't?
Wouldn't.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do. But the thing is, it's like you can't argue the success that DK had from making a game to just by himself to what it exploded into. So he has knowledge. Now, who they're going to get to run the stuff and do all that, that's a whole different story, but I think it's a pretty good thing. At least they're trying. We'll see what it turns into. But of course, with publishing companies, it's very interesting. Very interesting. It's I kind of take it kind of like with record labels, like where a label comes in and does like all the work for the artist, but give them a bunch of money, but then they got to like make the money back. But it's easier for the artist. That's what it kind of seems like publishing companies basically are. They sort of take the game and help promote it, help do all that by getting a cut of the sales or whatever. I don't know how that stuff works, but there's obviously profits involved with that. But
yeah, I like money.
Yeah, that's the gist of everything. All about money, which it's like there's probably a lot more to it the bigger that you get. A lot of stuff you didn't think about that publishing companies, I guess, can be there for. But either way, we'll talk about the Winter's Jest event from Phasmophobia, which is now over, but it also came with a surprise update with that. So talk about that. But we're going to start out. We're going to talk about top 5 games, indie horror games. Now it's telling me my OBS disconnected. What happened?
I see you're there. I know it's some screwed up situation.
Not our day.
Your camera on my stream together is extremely fuzzy now, but you look decent on your stream. So I don't understand that at all. It must just be Twitch, right? Let's blame Twitch.
I don't know. It's super weird. Okay. I think we should be back on Twitch. You can let menu.
Yeah, it's back up.
Okay, I think we're still good on here.
Just refresh if you don't see anything moving.
Yeah, that's very 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 fun day full of technical difficulties. Well, the power went out here for a second and flickered. Like I woke up
Oh,
and then was in bed and then the power flickered here. So I'm like, it's gonna be this kind of day. And then we were fine. You were having the difficulties, and right, we're good to go.
yeah.
Okay, so I think we're good. So pick it
Okay.
up and I'll do my editing magic whenever
Okay.
that happens. But we didn't get into anything. So we play a lot of indie horror games, some good, some bad. So we're going to highlight some of the best of 2025, which there was a lot. And we're going to give our top 5 games. So coming at number 5 for me was a game that I played, well, you had told me about, and it sounded interesting. And I did not expect to enjoy the game as much as I did. And that is the Boba Tea Shop. I loved this game so much. I thought there was so much just really good about it. It's very short. It's very short, but it's only like $5, $4.99. So,
Yeah.
but the game is like less than an hour and a half of playtime. About maybe that at the most. Not like a whole bunch of replayability to it, but you're kind of like paying $5 for a movie. It's somewhat way to look at it sometimes. But I thought those are like the only real negatives I have about the game. Is it's short, but that's the way a lot of these games are. But the things it does very very well is the scares in this game are extremely well done. We play, like
Yeah.
I said, a lot of indie horror games, and there's a lot of cheap jump scares that things try to rely on. This game does a great job of building the sense of sort of dread of stuff going on. You'll make like the tea, you'll turn around, there'll be something in the corner, and just
Very subtle, but
very,
effective.
very subtle. And
Yeah.
that's what I love. And there were so many times the game got me that it was just like I was not expecting this at all in the game. And the developer of this, Mike 10, if you guys have not checked out his YouTube channel, he has a video going about his mindset when it came to making horror games. And it talked about a lot of the mindset of what should go into it. I thought it was very insightful and
It
very
was.
interesting because you get
Yeah.
to hear why he did certain things. It goes through his first game he made, which I never played, and I can't think about offhand what it was called. It was an anomaly horror game, though. But he went from that to the Boba Tea Shop. And the game was very successful for him. He basically made a year's worth of salary off the sales of the game, which he's completely open about, and what worked, what he would do differently, why the first one maybe wasn't as good. And it was just very insightful stuff. So the dude thinks about this a lot, and you could tell he's spent a lot of thought into the game. And it's so simple in the storyline with this. It was you own a boba tea shop, and then weird things start happening, and you make boba tea for people. And it sounds so basic, but the story, the underlying story, the things that happen, I thought it was built up so well. And I think
Yeah.
it's just one of the great things when it comes to indie horror. Like, this is what I want to play.
Right. Right. The
Uh,
slow buildup was just a great pacing for the buildup of all the little details, not just in the scares, but in the story too, because they talk about a girl that worked in an office. So you're kind of wondering, is it the person you're playing? Like it really does a good job of building interest and suspension at the same time, which is amazing.
yeah, it was extremely well done. And I wish I could put it higher on the list. I debated putting it like where it was at. I think it's about the highest it should go. Because again, it's only an hour and a half, so it's like you're not getting a lot of longevity playtime out of it, which I think definitely takes it back some. But I think for the game that's we have on here, it was just I highly recommend checking it out. It does have a demo still on there, so you can try it out before trying out the full thing. And I think trying out the demo, it's just extremely well worth it. I think you'll fall in love with
Yeah.
it if you love indie horror at all. It's single player. It's a great experience. You're immersed in there, and you get focused on things, and then something will be there to throw you off. And I really really enjoyed the game. Again, you recommended it to me, and I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. But I played it and just fell in love with it, expecting really nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that I complained about on this game is that the demo was almost as long as the game. I don't feel like they added very much more to the full release, but of course there is the conclusion, so that's pretty important. But as far as gameplay time, there's not much more after that, but it is cheap, so it kind of evens out.
Yeah, and you would be the one to talk more about that than me, because like I said, I never played the demo. I think I'd heard you say that before, and maybe some other people say it, but which is why it was kind of surprising to me that the demo was still up. I thought they might have took it down after it released.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, it's on there, and whenever there's a free demo to play, check it out. So, well, what was your fifth game? And they're in the top 5.
Well, fifth, I would have to say Bunker 73, which is kind of like an anomaly because it was a free itch.io game, not one that many people have heard about, but I was so impressed with this tiny little game. What's the dev? Bragic, yes. You're basically just ghost hunting in a bunker, an old bunker, and it tells the story of a family that was trapped down there, and it's really well made, very spooky atmosphere, and the story was really good. It actually, I'm looking at it now, and it won Scream Jam 2024, so it's a really good catch on itch.io, because sometimes I go through so many itch.io games sometimes, and it's just bad game. And then I got to Bunker 73, and it was such a breath of fresh air. Couldn't say enough good things about this one. I did get soft locked at one point, but that's just a technical thing.
Oh, we know you get lost in all these games and get mad at me when I blow through the parts.
It's not my fault. Listen here. Yes.
I have not played that one. I'll have to
that was
check
mine.
it out.
Yeah, you should.
The number 4 for me was a game that I think you still haven't played this one, I don't think. Among the Whispers Provocation. And
no, I haven't played that one yet.
It's a single player ghost hunting game. It is made by the same developer who did Conrad Stevenson's Paranormal PI, which a lot of people love. I was not like the biggest fan of Conrad Stevenson's because I thought it was just a little bit too slow and repetitive. It wasn't like terrible. I don't think it was a very good like stream game basically to play on stream. I could see myself more so like playing it on my own, but the developer is D&A Studios. So, but they released this one. It's kind of like a sequel because it does have a callback to Conrad Stevenson's Paranormal PI. And which both of these are single player games. But the thing with Among the Whispers Provocation is for a solo ghost hunting game, it did so much just different, but really, really well. And it left just basically a lasting impression on me. I'll talk about the negatives first. Like the thing is, the biggest issue, it's only one mansion. So there's only like one map basically. You just go to different parts of the mansion. So the base of the game is you're exploring this mansion. It's got a history of a family there. And you're trying to find which specific family member is haunting what specific room. So you get reports of like there's been something weird happening in the art room. So you'd go to the art room and you're figuring out first, is it actually a ghost or does it have some other cause? And then if you do find that it's paranormal, what specific ghost in the family history is there? Like who was haunting it? And you try to set them free basically at the end. And you have a lot of the same evidence items. So you're looking for temperatures, EMF readings. You have audio, video. different stuff like that. But so the thing is, but it's just that one map. I don't know if they're going to add more maps or whatever. So it can get kind of repetitive. And when you know kind of the layout, I mean, it's a giant mansion. It's got like 3 or 4 different floors, a bunch of different rooms. The longer you play into the game, the more like you're investigating 3 ghosts at once versus 1 or 2. It just keeps kind of increasing that way. But everything that the ghost says and does is important because you're trying to find, like, for instance, if somebody was like ran over by a car, they might act that out and you would record that. So then when you go to the computer to look up the obituaries to see who in the family passed away via getting hit by a car, basically. And then you're trying to find an item that was important to it because it would go into their hobbies. And so if they like to draw, it might be like a paintbrush or something that you then have to find to try to get rid of it like that. And it was, I love the personal aspect when it comes to it. Now, the one annoying thing about the game is the Jacob's Ladder item was just so freaking complicated to use. And it was really getting frustrating. It took me like almost an hour to figure it out because the tutorial did not do a great job explaining that part. And it's still like when you're like, okay, I think I get it, but like I feel like I'm doing everything it's telling me, but it's not doing it because it like skipped a step. That was annoying. But when you kind of do finally figure it out, just the personal aspects and stuff with the ghost are just very, very interesting. And one of the reasons I loved Remnant Records a bunch when we played that, and that released 3 or 4 years ago now, but it was learning about the ghost past because it makes you feel more connected to their story. And this game does that extremely, extremely well. And, I will always remember some of the creepiest moments that have happened to me in horror games. And I mention a lot whenever we talk about Escape the Backrooms and had one of the best scares ever in this game. This had one of the greatest subtle scares that I ever had, I think, in any horror game. And I think it's extremely, extremely hard to kind of replicate, but it was done so well. Like the thing when you're going ghost hunting and you're doing this, if you ever do it in real life or when like I want to try to see a ghost or whatever, is it's not super accurate. Like I actually got to go ghost hunting for the first time in real life in 2025, which was one of the highlights of the year to be able to do that. I didn't really experience anything crazy or paranormal, but you're sitting there, you're waiting, you're in the dark, you're looking for just weird things, and it might not always be like clear at first, but a lot of times, and what I don't know what's real in these shows or not, I just assume all those shows are fake, but they always go back and look at the video footage, and then you see something there that you didn't see with your naked eye. This game had an amazing moment with that, where if you set up a video camera, you'll actually be recording. It'll auto record events that happen. And I remember I'd set up the camera and it recorded something. I was like, what happened? I didn't see anything. I go back and look at the footage and you see like a shadow ghost go by me. I did not see that originally, but to see it then on the video, be like, holy shit, that was there. Like I've never seen that in a video game. I thought it just the subtleties when it comes to scares. I thought that was extremely well done. It was very, very cool. Because again, one of the tropes when it comes to these horror games are loud equals scary. We're going to jump scare you that way. But that's not, I don't think it's not what makes a horror game great. It's that sense of dread or what's going to happen, just being on the edge there. Right. And to see something so small happen that I didn't catch when it happened, but to go back and like, holy shit, there was actually a ghost there. It's extremely well done. I've never seen that in a game like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which you can't you have to check out this game. I put it at number 4. I wanted to put it higher. It does get pretty repetitive, but you're still gonna get, I think, a decent amount of hours out of it. And the developer has put a bunch of care and stuff into the game, and just definitely something to keep out for. It is single player. There is no multiplayer options, so we just got to keep that in mind. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was a really, really great game and a breath of kind of fresh air when it comes to ghost hunting games.
Yeah. Well, my number 4 is actually
Oh, I had an alarm going off there. Hey, Sleepy, welcome in.
All right.
All right, go ahead
All
with your
right. My
number
number
4.
four. Yeah, my number 4 is one that we shared. Because 3 out of 5 of my games, P also picked. So we'll just both talk about it. And it was Pizza Deathlivery.
Good old pizza. You're gonna rely on me to set everything up? Why does the freak did my headset keep going out? Yeah, you trying to tell me you want me to describe this game? Did I do an amazing job describing the games? I
Well, you just talk a lot, so.
I mean, it is a podcast. We are supposed to be talking, but I mean, I can tell you about Pizza Deathlivery. Self promo here. I actually have my top 10 indie horror games on my YouTube channel, which you're probably watching this on. If you're listening to it somewhere else, check it out on YouTube. We do a lot of extra stuff over there. I actually put Pizza Deathlivery at number 10 in my top 10 games of the year. I thought that this game was just pretty unique and interesting. And I first told Zoth and people we play with about it. It came up on Steam, and it's like Pizza Deathlivery, and I was like, is this going to be a game where you're trying to deliver pizzas and avoid monsters? That's exactly what it is.
Yep, that's
And
exactly what it is.
it was, because we like playing a wacky, fun co-op games and all that. And so I was like, this one might be pretty fun, and it's not super crazy expensive. The thing that I the gameplay loop is fun with Pizza Deathlivery. It's exactly what it is. You have a certain amount of pizzas that you have to deliver. You have like 4 hours to do it, like in game time. In real life time, I'd be like 4 or 5 minutes or something, maybe like a minute per hour, or 10 minutes. I don't know what it is. I haven't timed it all, but you have that, deliver it, and there are monsters out there, and it's sort of like with R.E.P.O and Lethal Company, that type game where the different monsters do different things, and you try to learn how to avoid it, what their special traits are, and go with that. And it was a fun game. I could tell you the things that reasons I put this game at 10 was because I'm not a big fan of the upgrade system in the game. It was a really fun game to play, which ultimately was why I put it at 10. I was not a fan of the upgrade system because, or just sort of, which goes into the gameplay loop in general. Right? Like, so for the upgrades, there's going to be like stands, kind of like food stands. So it's kind of like a carnival is in town too. It's like a rundown town, but it has like a carnival area or a fair, and you're trying to go to like these food stands to basically buy the upgrades, like that are smoothies or drinks or something. So you got like one for speed, I think, one for stamina, one for health. The upgrades are really
Yeah, that system
expensive.
was a little goofy.
Yeah, the upgrades are really expensive. And you kind of have to decide for the day, are you going to deliver pizzas or are you going to go for the upgrades? Because you're not going to be able to do both. Now, you do have to at least deliver half of the pizzas, because if you don't, then you get a X mark for the day. But you also have to be back by midnight each night, or that's complete game over. And I mean, I get what they were going for. It made sense what they were going for. I just am not a big fan of that way that it was. That was like kind of just the biggest, like, okay, well, I'm gonna spend half the day trying to find this upgrade and then try to deliver pizzas. But then when you're playing multiplayer, like
If
that.
you're playing multiplayer, you can just take turns. Some people deliver and some people get
Yeah.
the upgrades for them. So that worked out. My biggest complaint about this game was that the home base was not a safe space. So if a monster was chasing you, you run inside, it could just come in there and kill everybody. I think that was just a little bit of an
Yeah, I
oversight
think
on
I
their
think you have
part.
to close the garage door to be safe.
Yeah, I think that's not a good way to have your home base. It should be a safe place. But now I want to talk about what was good about this game. Visually, extremely interesting. There is so much going on. The monsters are very weird. I'm thinking specifically of the balloon thing. Very unusual monsters for this game. Also, what I loved about it, that it was actually a challenge. It was. It's obviously in very early access, rough around the edges. There's only one map, but it runs very smoothly, which is impressive. And the monsters are not too hard, but they are hard enough to make it a fun challenge to play with. Those are the things I loved about this game.
Yeah, and I think they've fine-tuned the monsters some. They're still updating the game. It did have an update in December. Some of it was just like really extremely hard, where it was like you felt like you couldn't get away from the monsters. I think they changed the balloon guys some, so it wasn't super crazy OP like it was. So we definitely need to play it again some more. I think it's a unique, fun game if you're looking for something to play with friends. That's just going to be a fun time. Yeah, I think it was a good game. I think the flaws is why I put it at 10 for the year, but I had a lot of fun with this game, and it kind of like exceeded what I thought it would be. I didn't know what I was going to get. I didn't know if it was just going to be a janky mess or what, but
yeah.
Well,
that's right. That's why I included it, because it was a really big surprise. I expected it to just be a goofy, janky game, and it exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
Plus, the avatars are so funny looking.
They are. It's good. I hope they keep on improving it. I think they added some areas too as well with the update. So
that's good.
It is still getting updates. It is still a fun game. But all right.
All right. What's your number 3?
Before we get there, when do you have ads showing?
Oh, I shut my stream down.
Okay, don't. I can check. I can check for you. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Before I mess something up, I forgot I have access to your dashboard.
Oh, that's right.
It looks like 17 more minutes.
Okay.
All right, so I can.
Hi, Lauren.
I could probably go ahead and run my ads right quick, just so.
Okay.
We get it out of the way before going with that.
Okay.
Then we can figure out yours there after. But hello, Lauren, and hello again, Sleepy. Hope you're doing well. I'm glad to see Phoenix caught her favorite Pokemon Rapidash. Pretty sure that was her favorite.
Oh yeah, and thank you for the resub, Lauren. I really appreciate that. It's good to see you.
It was funny. I actually had something in my dashboard that was like, your share viewership with 25% of Lauren's people. I'm like, that makes sense.
Of course.
A lot of them probably found Lauren through me.
Because we're all friends.
Have been here a while and already know each other. Exactly. So. I'm guessing your top 3 are the same as my top 3, right?
Clown is Hungry. You didn't put that one. I don't think you played that one.
Nope.
And then Eclipsium and R.E.P.O. So yeah.
Okay. So we got different games up there. Cool. Just want to make sure. So okay. Cool.
And I do want to talk about the upcoming games. I've only got 2 to mention.
I've got 2 as well. I don't know. Well, one of them I just started playing. Where we started.
The Quarantine Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was in there.
I mean, still need to do that too.
One of them we might have the same one. I don't know, but I think that's the thing is there's.
Hey, Nix. Could you get me a straw, please?
Okay. Let me see. And some stuff doesn't have like release dates, just like planned releases, which is, well, I think that's
I
probably like a
know.
lot of things, but
Yeah.
bum, 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 bum. Okay, so we got like 30 seconds left on the ads. Yeah, we were going number 3 with me, right? That was the next one.
Yes.
Cool deal.
Yeah. You know what? I could probably just share the stream together screen. That works. That looks great. But of course, I'm not touching OBS because it's still frozen. It's literally just the screenshot you sent me on both screens. And it tells me I should start streaming, but my stream is still going.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah. I'm not touching OBS until this is over.
Yeah.
It took too long to get here.
All right. So my number 3 game of the year is another ghost hunting game, which came out back in March, and that was The Other Side. And you know, I play a lot of ghost hunting games, obviously, but this one did a lot of things well and different than others. Just like I kind of mentioned, Among the Whispers did a lot of things fantastic, I thought, but you know, the Other Side has a little bit of a more longevity, I guess I would say, because it's, there are different maps. It's very similar loop to Phasmo, and they've also put a lot of care into their ghosts. A lot of the ghosts have certain tells as well, which a lot of games don't do. Certain ghosts can only do certain things, and they because they released a no evidence version basically with the game this year as well. Well, back in 2025. And there's 2 different modes. You have your basically identify mode, which is the same thing like in Phasmo. You try to find evidence and go identify the ghost that way. And then they have a cleanse mode where you basically use all the different evidence items. So like, but you're actually looking for specific things, which is what I really enjoy. Like for instance, for the EMF reader, how high does it get? Like what's the range? You got to put that into a machine. For like Spirit Box, how clear are the messages? Is it just garbled? Can you understand what they're saying? Is it threats? What is it for writing? You know, is it just scribbles? Is it, can you actually make out what they're drawing? And you put that in the machine, and then at the end, if you get everything right with the ranges, like temp ranges too, and radiation, trying to find that, put it in the machine, and it'll tell you, okay, you've got enough to kind of cleanse the ghost, and you go find artifacts and cleanse it that way. I hope they make a mode that kind of combines both, because there the ghost types don't really matter. You're only looking for
Yeah.
the individual things. But I thought it was just a really unique idea when it came to that, and gave use for all the items. So you're not like, oh well, okay, I got 2 of the evidences, and this last one doesn't have writing, so I ain't got to worry about it, or doesn't have spirit box, so don't even need to use that anymore. And I thought it was a good way to incorporate a bunch of different things with that. Um, I really enjoyed it. The game can kind of feel a little bit clunky at times compared to like Phasmo with going in, which, you know, not the biggest deal. You do get 2 hands, which is good. Your phone basically uses the flashlight and camera, which is cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
Convenient.
yes, and good stuff that way. It does a lot of good things, and the devs are active. They're still updating it. They released a few new maps, and I had fun with it. It was one of the games that played a lot and put time into it, and it was fun to learn things again with the ghosts, and you know, be like, okay, well, what ghost cannot light flames or burn out flames or do certain things, and the game does that well, and not a lot of ghost hunting games kind of tend to do that.
Right.
And it looks nice, and it's cool. You get to
Yeah.
upgrade your
The
HQ,
clunky
and
part is the movement
yeah,
of the avatars. It's very jerky movements when you're walking around and such. But it's, you get used to it, and it's not really like a detriment to the game. It's still a lot of fun.
yeah. And they had character customization already. We'll be getting that soon,
Yeah.
fast, but all that stuff was
Yeah.
was already in there, which was good. It was very good for a ghost hunting game. I enjoyed it. It had more stuff in there than a lot of games, and it's nice to see somebody put time and effort into a ghost hunting genre game versus just throwing something out there. And
Right.
they did good with it. Not like they're super crazy popular nowadays. You don't really see too many new ghost investigation games, but it's nice that they tried to do their own thing with it, and I think they had some really good ideas. That was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, and I love the base decorations that you can get and just customize your base, and you can get different bases, you can upgrade. I really like that aspect. Even personalizing the vehicle, you can change the color, you can
yeah,
get different kinds. I really like that.
yep, give you more reason to keep playing and keep working towards things, and
Right.
that's
Exactly.
always a
That's
good thing.
something that a lot of games are lacking.
Yeah. So, what was your number 3 game of the year there?
Uh, I went with Clown is Hungry. I absolutely loved this game. I played the demo on my stream, and then it released. This was by Vetus Games, which is always a fun game to play. You basically are a pizza delivery girl, a very ditzy one, and there's a clown trying to catch you and eat you. And there's all kinds of crazy little mini games with pizza ingredients, and the setting is weird. The whole game is weird, but it's so much fun. The scares are effective, but it's also very much a comedy game, and you have to make sure you get pizza ingredients to feed the clown. And I don't want to spoil too much of it, um, but that's the gist of the game. You watched me play it, right?
I think I watched you play the demo. I never knew it fully released.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good one. A short one, but very nice.
Is there replayability with it, or is it just like a story mode?
No, I could see somebody wanting to play it again, but the story, it's just one story.
Gotcha. Okay, I added it to my wish list. I'd not even seen that before, but
Yeah, Vetus Games is good. The pacing of the story, brilliant. The look and atmosphere, brilliant. I just have no complaints at all about this game. It's funny, interesting. The notes that are left behind are hilarious. The environment is hilarious because there's the mini games are like carnival games, but with like a pizza ingredient, like an onion. Very, very whimsical that way. Yeah, feed a clown, a very hungry clown that is the pizza eating champion. He's got like a trophy case in his house. Um, yeah,
yeah, and I'll have to check it out. That does sound interesting. That does sound interesting. But yeah, the best ghost hunt investigation game by far is Phasmo. I mean, they were the first ones. They've put so much stuff into it. But yeah, the other side is one I'd recommend. Forewarned is another good one in general. When it comes to ancient Egypt, just I think it's one of the creepiest ones, honestly. You still got to play that one too, don't you?
Yeah, I got it, but we haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I need to play it again. I think Lady P's too scared of that game. She'd never want to play it. I'd be like, I'm gonna play it. I want to play it.
That bad, huh?
It's very. I got scared watching like people play it, just from like what
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like necessarily scared, but I'm like, man, this is pretty creepy. Like, because I think I watched Ensign play it at first, and I was like, man, this seems like
Yeah.
be pretty good. And then I'm playing there, and I was like, holy shit, that's really, really, really creepy. Keeps you on edge. There's a lot of really good scares with it. But then Among the Whispers Provocation for a single player game and what it is a lot of fun. I really wish there would have been more with Remnant Records for that. It had such potential that I felt like they just didn't fully capitalize on. But I put so much into that game. I mean, like it's well worth playing, I think. But but it could have been more. But yeah, number two game of the year, I thought was School 666. So
Okay.
uh
That is a really good one.
I was really, really impressed with this game, which you had told me about Hospital 666, and we played that one, and I thought, that one was fun, had a few faults, and School
Nuh-uh.
666, I thought, see, like, well, the biggest thing I had with the Hospital 666 was I think there were too many levels on one floor,
Oh,
or
yeah. Yeah.
whatever, because it was like, yeah, before the other rooms open, like I felt like it took too long. Like, there were like 16 or something, I think, and it was like it was only so much you could do. Which School
Yeah.
666, I thought did it a bit better, where there wasn't as long, but it had like three different basically run throughs of it with adding different things. It had like boss fights in here too. That was pretty awesome. It
Yeah.
had some funny stuff, some scary stuff. Just I had a blast playing it. The game was a lot longer than I thought it would be, and I really enjoyed it. It was kind of like, to do the same boss fights again, to go through it to beat the full game. I thought it was like, I feel like there's a happy medium somewhere, because like for School 666, I think it was like 6 or 8, somewhere between there, just like times you had to get right. I think it was only like 6. Then you would go to the next floor, and there were, um, God, I can't even remember what it was. It's been a minute since I played it, but different levels, and then you would go back to the start, and then go through that again, and then go back to the start, and then go through it again, and then you beat the game. But like the boss fights were exactly the same. I think they might have added a few different anomalies here and there, but if you don't know what School 666 is, it is like an anomaly horror game, the one where you look at a room and then you go to the next floor and you say, is anything different? If yes, you go up. If no, you go down and you go to the floor that way. So it had some a few scary ones. I think some people would say it's like not really a crazy horror game, or it's not like a horror game. It's more funny or whatever. It was just it was a lot
Yeah.
of, which, there were a few scares. I mean, I don't get big into semantics basically, but when it was enough horror for me to consider it, and it had a lot of just fun callbacks to other games. Just a lot of care
A
went
lot of
into it.
Easter eggs.
Yeah, and developed by one person, Loken, and I had a lot of fun playing it. The game is longer than I thought it would be. I think you get your money's worth out of it.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
yeah, that's
For
why
sure.
I put it at number 2, because it was kind of like a breath of fresh air when it comes to just anomaly and horror and stuff in general. There's not a lot of games like it.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed the wide variety of different games. Like one level would be the end game would be a certain type of end game. It was just all over the place, but it made a cohesive game, and it was a lot of fun. I agree with that. Ready for my number 2?
Bring it. What is your number 2?
I chose Eclipsium because that one I was very impressed with. It was so interesting and so unique. And the entire time, you are confused as to what's happening, what you're doing. You're going through all these stages, and you're just thinking, why am I doing these things? Where am I going? And then at the end, it all makes sense, and it's like a gut punch. It was so impressive. And the art style is unique as well. It's pixelated, but it's not your typical like PSX style game. It was a completely unique experience on its own. If you played it,
Yes, I played it. I played the demo at first. This was, I think, just outside of my top 5. I think I had it at number 6 in my top 10 list.
okay,
I really enjoyed it. You told me about the demo, and I played the demo, and it's a very unique looking game. There's a lot of really unique things that, like, the graphic style of the game is very interesting. A bunch of crazy things happen, like, in the background. I mean, it looks visually really, really nice.
yeah,
It's not like nowadays graphics, like realistic or stuff, but just for what it was very, very interesting. And like the things with the game, what was interesting about the demo was the demo basically, it was a good representation of what the game was about, but nothing you did in the demo was in the game. Like, it was really kind of interesting. Like, there was a ship level thing in the demo, which they had in the game, but it wasn't the exact same one. And I've very rarely did you ever see a demo like just be completely, like, have no part of the game. I just thought it was
yeah. I can see why people would think that, but it was more like the structure
yes,
of the game.
which
Like, for example, the circular room where you could only face forward, but there was a maze, and you had to navigate your way around that. It was a very interesting section where you have to navigate because you can only look in one direction. You can move backwards and forwards and side to side, but that was in the demo, but I saw it in the game, but it completely looked different. It was a completely different maze.
yeah.
The atmosphere was different. The textures was different. So the parts that were in the demo are in the game, just dressed up in a different way.
Yeah, it was a good representation of what the game was about without kind of doing anything in the game. Like,
And we're
it
so used to
worked.
demos that are part of the game.
Yeah.
Maybe some things will get changed, like here and there, little details. We're so used to demos doing that, so it was a little bit jarring when you play the full game to be like, this is completely different. Like, there wasn't even the mushroom at the beginning in the full game.
Yeah. It was very interesting. The things with the game, the game is not for everybody. I will say.
No,
It
no, I don't think so.
There's not a lot of combat. Well, there's no combat at all. It's more of like a walking simulator basically, and you try to solve puzzles and find things, which the game basically tells you that's what it is. So the game tells
Yeah.
you, so it's like, whatever. People still would complain about it, but I think, that was why I didn't put it like super like higher up, because I don't think everybody would enjoy it. But I think you can actually still play the demo on Itch.io. Interestingly enough, for Eclipsium, I think it's still on there,
Yeah.
which I definitely recommend people try out, because if you like the demo, you're gonna like the game. And I'm
And
kind of
they have some other demos on Itch.io for different games. They use the same visual style, so you can see that they've got their own style developed in that way. But they do have other demos on Itch.io. I absolutely would recommend checking them out. And I put them number 2 because that's my opinion. And I really don't care about what other people would think about that.
Well, well, I mean, it is your list, but I
Yeah.
I enjoyed it enough, but like I don't think I'm gonna go back and play it again. But again, that's not a bad thing. It's
You will.
that's probably like between 3 and 5 hours of gameplay, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still torn on the story part. Like it's does the story is definitely up to your interpretation, which I think is perfectly fine. I just wish it was like a
It is.
more of to get you hooked to want to keep going, which I think the game just kind of more relies on the environment and the things versus the actual story.
Yeah, because they
And
don't tell you anything until the end. Well, I
exactly,
mean,
which
there's little bits of information that come up, but you don't realize it's part of the story until it all coagulates at the end.
yeah, you're talking about me throwing big
Very
words
unique.
earlier, and you fucking throwing out coagulate. But yeah, I thought it's I think it's worth everybody to check out the demo. I think it is still on itch.io there, but it's a very very unique game. I really enjoyed it though. At the end, I I enjoyed my time
Yes,
with it. I
I
don't
loved it.
think I quite enjoyed it quite as more as the other games I did have in my top five, but that's why I put it at six. Like it was right there between that and Boba Tea Shop. What I would put top five. I think for the time spent, I enjoyed Boba Tea Shop more, which is why I put that at five. But they're still both really good games, really unique, and that's something to look into there. Then I think what our number
Yep,
one is exactly the same, right?
it is.
Yeah. No shock to anybody who's watched any of my streams or the channel or anything this year, or to Zoth, which R.E.P.O was our favorite game of 2025.
Yep,
The game has absolutely everything that you could want in it, basically. Fun, scary, highly replayable. Just
it does
it's
care.
yeah, addicting. Like fan fantastic, and they're still updating it. Still putting like the updates they bring to the game. They try to improve it. Anything that happened like negative when they were releasing like between their release and the first update, they had a beta for like each thing, and they kept changing it based on feedback. The devs post weekly um on their YouTube channel. It kind of slowed down with the holidays and the new year and stuff, but man, like I can't think of a negative thing to say about the game. Really, I mean, maybe just put more maps, but I mean, there's still
Yeah,
they released one, but like that's it. It's a really fun game. I've had a lot of
they're
fun with
always
it.
updating.
Yeah,
They've tweaked it a lot. Like I was a fan from the first release, a big fan because like we played a lot of Lethal Company before this, and there really was no alternative to Lethal Company. And then this came out, and it was like, this is the one. This is the one for us to play. And we've gotten several hours of gameplay out of it. I think I'm like 500 hours in the game for this year, for last year. So yeah, it is a lot of fun. I'm sure everybody has heard of it by now.
yeah, and they started as the indie company, and they're still indie either way, but to see the growth that they had was pretty good. It's a fantastic game. I mean, if you still have not played it, play it. Like if you enjoy those type of games at all, I the thing that I really really loved about it was I didn't feel like it was quite as punishing as Lethal Company, and you could better learn the monsters and deal with them. They did take away some of the things like items being as strong against the monster and stuff, but
Right.
I felt like it was the skill gap between that and Lethal Company. Like it was more friendly and R.E.P.O to kind of learn
But still
things. And
challenging.
yes,
But
it is
still very
still
challenging.
very difficult, but it felt more fair, sort
Yeah,
of
for sure.
in a way. And yeah, absolutely, absolutely loved. Uh, R.E.P.O. Number one game of the year for both of us, which probably for a lot of people too. At least that play those style of games. So, we had someone ask Evil on YouTube what our favorite story and horror game was. The horror game with the best story, and I'm trying to think. I don't know because I'm sure he said Ancient Evil was or Ancient Egypt was good. I've not heard of that one. And the Walking Dead games for story, which makes sense because that's
I
what
haven't played any of them.
the games are like more about as a story. Yeah, I haven't played it. I've watched some people play The Walking Dead. I'm sure there's a lot out there because like I haven't played a lot of the Resident Evils. I played a few of them. I haven't played like Silent Hill. There's a lot of my stuff when it comes to horror is more like indie horror and recent stuff in general.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Eclipsium for one is me because I really enjoy a story that you can't easily figure out before the conclusion. And I'm always super impressed when a story can do that and keep you guessing until they want you to know the end of it. I would say I was also reminded of Layers of Fear. Fantastic story for that too. Basically, also, you don't really understand what's happening until you start peeling back the layers of the story and going through the the different sections to piece it all together. I really love that about a story in a game, is being able to piece little by little. They don't give you too much of the story, or they don't withhold too much, which Eclipsium was right on the edge there. Like, you didn't know anything until you got there, but then you realize they've been feeding you information. And that also goes with the boba tea shop. Even though it was a much simpler story and game, it kind of had that same structure of feeding you little bits of information, but not revealing the whole thing to you. So I would say those three games
Yeah, that's
come to my mind.
and I don't think you played Among Ashes yet.
Not yet.
I mean I wasn't a big fan of sort of how everything wrapped up, kind of, but I thought the story itself, like it had me invested in it. I haven't played some of the things like I've heard Mouthwashing has a great story. I still need to play that one.
Yeah, I played that one.
I think Ad Infinitum, blah, can't say that properly or whatever, but that one I've heard is really really good, and I have that. I'm trying to look at like the games that I have in my library. I really enjoy Dullmare's story. Like I thought that was creepy and like kept you thinking about what happened. I really enjoyed that game in general, and I thought the way it did its story was very very good.
Oh, Reveal. That was a good one. That was older. No, I think it came out a couple years ago actually, but yeah, Reveal is one of my all-time favorites for the story. It also keeps you in suspense as to what's going on, and the twist is crazy.
And I mean, and I did enjoy Resident Evil Village, that story when I played it, but it's tough to say what my old time favorite story would be because I haven't played like a lot of stuff I feel like people would just throw out as their favorite story game in horror. But yeah, it's yeah, my favorite maps in Phasmo are Tangle and Sunny. Least favorite is Camp Woodwind. I hate Camp Woodwind. What about yours?
The maps in Phasmo.
Yeah, favorite and least favorite.
Most favorite, Sunny Meadows. Least favorite, any of the camps. Camp Woodwind is the worst. I'd rather play the Lodge if I had to.
Yeah, a lot of I think so 'cause it's a little bit easier to survive the ghost and deal with things there. And a lot of people say, "Well, what about like prison and high school?" I think high school is not as bad as people think. It's just big, but it's
Yeah,
not like
tedious going through all the classrooms. That's the only complaint. But prison is a lot of fun. I love it.
yeah, prison.
You just got to get to know the maps. That's why people don't like these maps, is because they just didn't learn the maps. You play it enough, you're going to start to know where everything is, and then you're going to appreciate the actual design of the map after that. And I think that's the stumbling block people have with prison and Sunny Meadows in high school.
Yeah, and it's because I love the prison map. I just hate cell block ghosts, which because there's so many chances of that, you have a high likelihood of the ghost picking the cell block as its room. But
But
it's
it's doable.
yeah, it's just a little bit annoying at times. But
One thing I like about cell block ghosts is that the UV for the door is such a unique thing because
yeah,
it's like on top of the bar. But yeah, I like prison.
so next we'll talk about games we're looking forward to coming out in 2026 that we know of. I guess off the top of our head. Which it's funny because we're recording this on a day that one of my games that I loved the demo of just came out, and that was Quarantine Zone. I loved the demo for Quarantine Zone. Um, Essentially, if you've never heard of it, it's a world ravaged by zombies, and you're at a checkpoint trying to check people in that are survivors, and you're looking to see if they have any symptoms or anything that would make them a zombie, or if they possibly are infected or show possible signs. You can quarantine them to watch their symptoms to see if it worsens or get better. And you also got like it's kind of like a tower defense version where you're like flying a drone trying to stop hordes of zombies from coming, and you're also trying to keep up things in the base. There's a whole lot to that game, and when I played the demo, I was like, I couldn't believe I was playing a demo with how much stuff was in there. I almost felt like I was playing a full game, and I was really looking forward to the release, and it came out the day that we're recording this on the 12th. And I cannot wait to play more of that game. It's got like everything that I love, because I love playing Contraband Police, which it kind of reminds me of that. Where you're checking people in and looking
Yeah.
for things. And I really enjoy these style of games, and it's got so much unique stuff with it. As again, personally, if you've watched me before or whatnot, I'll tell you I'm not the biggest fan of zombies in general. I think they're way overdone. But I
Yeah.
I can deal with some zombies, but games where you're just like mindlessly killing zombies, like it's just like so overdone. And then all the shows that were about zombies, like we're talking about with The Walking Dead and stuff. There was so much at the time because The Walking Dead got so popular, and it was just annoying. And so I
Yeah.
kind of been out on zombies, but this was like just a different version of it that was unique, and I love the demo, and I can't wait to play the more of the full game. Which you still got to play the demo. I guess if you
I still haven't
want
played the demo.
if you want to, which I don't know if you like the type of game or not. Um,
No, I do. But I share the same feelings about zombies as you do. It's a pretty boring monster, in my opinion, unless it's like World War Z type of zombie. That was a fun one. But for the most part, I don't really care about zombies so much so that I never even saw an episode of The Walking Dead. That's how much I don't like zombies. But yeah,
uh,
I agree with you. I do want to play the demo. I just, couldn't even do anything when I was sick. I didn't
yeah,
play anything. That's how sick I was, guys. I didn't play anything. Just stared at my monitor and slept.
yeah. I really, let's the way that they're using zombies in this, I think is pretty unique, and I can get on board with that. But yeah, Quarantine Zone released today. Released today. Fun stuff. Which before we recorded the podcast, I played it about an hour or so of it on stream, and did a few of the things. So still got more to do, I think, with the tutorial part. But yeah, I love it. Fully support those devs that game. Again, the demo I think is still available to play, and it's almost like you will know if you want that game or not after playing the demo. The 100%.
Well, I enjoyed the what's the name of it? The gas station. What's the name of that one?
No, that's the one we can get to next, unless you're talking about a different one. But Shift at Midnight.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yes.
So I like that kind of game.
Yes, but Shift at Midnight was the other
and
one
papers,
that I'm.
Please.
Yes, yeah. I still have to play that one. I've heard about that one, but I watched That's Not My Neighbor. I like things where you're trying to like figure different things out.
Yeah.
And one that was on my list for my top 10 games. I still have to fully finish, but Static Dread. That was one of my. I think it was like number 9 or something on my top 10 games of the year, because I really enjoyed how they did that game. The different things you could do. It was very, very unique and fun. I love looking for things that you're like, oh, well, is this good? Is this bad? What's your decision? Where you want to put it? And it was pretty good. And so one of the things, though, like I said, with we talk about Shift at Midnight, that's the other game. I think it's scheduled for release at Q2 2026 right now. But you had first told me about the game and mentioned that it's like a gas station simulator mixed with like Papers, Please, where you're trying to identify if the person is real or fake. But then it's also like a tower defense game as well, where
there was no way to describe this game accurately, but it works somehow. It's so chaotic.
You're described it. I was like, okay, I have to try this. This sounds super crazy. And then I played it and I fell in absolute love with it. Then they added a multiplayer. A giant
spider that lays eggs.
Yeah, that you have to try to keep out, or if you mess something up. And they added the multiplayer demo now that you can play with other people, and it's just so much fun when we played it. I did not want that demo to end. I cannot wait to see what they do with the full game. It's just such a unique idea, and the way that they've done things is just so well. It incorporates like some of my favorite things. So we play a lot of simulator games as well, which is fun, which is like the way that is. And then I said I love trying to figure things out, see if things real or fake based on evidence that you're looking for. And some of the evidence in that game that you have to look for is like super in depth, which I think is pretty cool, because it's not like so basic, like, oh, I could tell this person by looking at them they're fake. Like there was so many little things that everybody misses who plays it. And because then you're like, God, damn, seriously, that's what it was. And it's just, it's hilarious when you messed up and you see another person matching the same one come in, and you're like, oh shit, either I fucked up or I'm out.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's just,
and then you still have to restock shelves.
Yeah, you still got to restock the product because people are there buying things, and before you're checking them out, that's how you decide. And it's just a crazy idea that they somehow made work, and it is a lot of fun. And I cannot wait for that game to come out. I am anxiously waiting. Just like I was with Quarantine Zone. Quarantine Zone was supposed to release back in November, and they delayed it to now, and now it's released. And I hope the best for them, because I love those style of games. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. What else are you looking forward to coming out this year?
Well, the two games that I wanted to mention do not have a set date yet. So I'm hoping they come out this year. The first one, my most anticipated one, is We Harvest Shadows.
Yep.
They did write another. They didn't make a new a date for release yet, but they did update. Back in June, they said they're going to go ahead and go with a publishing company to try to help them, because they felt like it was more ambitious of a project for one person than they felt would be able to finish it. And he was starting to get burnt out. So he announced that back in June. And then in October, at the end of October, he just brought up, that he's still working on it. He's working hard on it. And it's really complex, but he just wanted us to know that he hasn't given up and he's fixing bugs and stuff like that. So I'm very hopeful that it will come out because the demo was beautiful. It was very creepy, but also beautiful. And there's a sad story involved. And I would really like that one to come out this year.
And that's one you can yell at me at for not playing. But to be fair, I watched you play the whole thing, but I do still want to experience it for myself. That one, it's certainly
when it comes out.
Yeah, which I don't know. Is that game going to be like sort of like a mix of story and survival, or is it just like complete open world? You kind of do whatever.
I think, well, when you're farming and saving up money to buy different tools and whatnot, you can just keep doing that. The story won't progress until you start exploring outside and following the prompts to do things. The story doesn't progress until you're ready, basically, which is I like that. And you can explore. There's a lot to explore. You don't have to do the external stuff until you're ready. But it is visually an extremely beautiful game.
Yeah.
And I love farming sims.
Yeah, that one, I mean,
it's right up my alley.
Yeah, from watching you play it, it had some really, really cool things in it. Hopefully it'll still be released well. It sounds like an ambitious title, so.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot for one person. I couldn't believe that one person did that just from the demo.
And by the end of it, we'll have links to all these in the description and show notes for all the games we talked about today. So if you're like, oh, that sounded interesting, what was that again? Don't worry about it. I'll make sure we have everything talked about in the description or the show notes, wherever you are watching from. All right. There were some things that we missed in chat. Papa, hello. Good to see you. Nelson, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Tronzard, thank you for the compliment. Welcome in. I'm doing good. Hope you are as well. But yeah, so for those who are just joining, we are doing live recording of our podcast, Little Zoth 4. It's available wherever you get your podcasts from. They also primarily on YouTube, but it's literally everywhere, even sites I've never heard of that have podcasts. We are the number one indie horror gaming podcast out there because nobody can tell me otherwise. Nobody will tell me otherwise. No telling me anything. But what was the you said you had one more game you're looking forward to. Which one is that one?
Yeah, and I've heard about this recently. Also does not have a set date, but it's coming soon from Darkstone Digital, the same people that did Mortuary Assistant. Okay. And it's called Paranormal Activity Threshold, and it looks terrifying. So that should be fun. I seriously hope these come out this year because these are the only two that I wanted to talk about. Really.
Just says coming soon. Coming soon.
Yeah.
I still need to play Mortuary Assistant myself.
The Mortuary Assistant is so scary. It's very scary. So I expect this to be interesting. I really hope it is.
Well, from everything I've heard about Mortuary Assistant and whatnot, I've heard really good things. So if they're making another game, it's probably going to be fairly true.
I hope so. If not, I'll be talking about it on the podcast and trashing it.
Well, hopefully it comes out
So
in
the pressure is on,
2026.
guys.
So I don't know
Yeah.
if anybody out there listening has anything paranormal activity. Is that what they're basing like the thing off of? Are they basing it from the
I'm not
movie?
sure. I would think so, but it's about, you know, um, catching paranormal activity on camera. So yeah, probably similar.
Okay.
There's a couple remodeling their home, old and dilapidated. They begin to record the adventures, but the couple soon discovers their new home hides much more than asbestos and faulty wiring.
Yeah, that
So
does sound
yeah,
pretty interesting.
yeah.
Pretty interesting. Hell yeah. Well, if it's based on the movies, I was never like a big fan of the Paranormal Activity movies. Um, thought it was all right, but yeah, some of them were just a little bit slow. Saturn, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate you. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hope your stream went well. Grace, thank you for the resub. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Good to see everybody. Hope you all are well.
Hey
For those who
guys, welcome in.
just came in, we are in the middle of talking about horror games. We're recording our Lows Off 4 podcast, available wherever you get your podcast from. If you love indie horror games, then this is the place. If you're looking for new games to play, this is it. We're doing our year-end wrap-up because I decided to take 15 years to be sick. Calling out of work sick so much. No doctor's note either. No doctor's note.
Well, it's not like I can get PTO anyway.
So so that's what we talked about. We talked about games I'm looking forward to in 2026. Some of our favorite indie horror games from 2025, and we're about to talk about Phaz's winter event, an update, and go from there. Now you're not interrupting. We were just getting feedback from if what you guys are looking forward to. If there's any indie horror games coming out in 2026 that you're looking forward to. Obviously, there's Resident Evil that's coming out in February. That's not an indie horror game, but I'm sure that's something a lot of people will want to play. We'll see. And pretty much it. But I hope you stream well. It's too much of a grind. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
For Phaz, I didn't finish it.
Yeah, which might as well get into. Phaz had their Winter's Jest event, which we talked about before it came out, and was like, I'm not like crazy hugely looking forward to it. And then they ended up dropping 3 new ghosts to go along with the event, which was amazing, unexpected, crazy, and a lot of fun. So I thought that for the actual event itself, I like some of the changes that they did. So for this one, they had the naughty and nice list, which we talked about would be pretty cool to change up things. And I thought it was a pretty fun little extra thing you could choose to do. Find items and stick it in there. And the callback to some of the old events with the cookies and the snowball gun was just awesome, because you'll never see it. And some people, I think you never got to experience a snowball gun before when they had the event with the snowmen. And
that was fun.
Yeah, it was very cool to see that. I thought that was good. The issue though, like with the same with the event, it was a hell of a grind if you wanted the full trophy upgrade, and didn't really seem like crazy worth it. And I'm just very confused by it all. Like, just when it comes to their idea of the trophy, right? Because they said if you didn't finish it before, which I don't know, maybe somebody who didn't finish last year's Christmas trophy could tell me, did your progress reset? Or could you still keep doing it? Because that's what I was just confused by. Because
Oh yeah,
if you
I
did
never thought of
fully
that.
upgrade it, you had to fully upgrade it again. But is that just how it is each time? Like you have to fully get it to have that trophy for the whole year? Like it doesn't seem worth it. I thought the personal rewards were perfectly fine, doable. You could get that in a day, really. But it's just I don't agree with how they're going about those things. But the
Well, I thought this year's event was fun. The naughty nice list added a fun little different aspect to it. But trying to grind it by yourself, that was just too much work for a little payoff. I didn't even finish. I got through the second level and that's it. But I really don't like the fact that it just erases your previous trophies in the cabinet. Like, I don't know. I don't know why they did that.
yeah, it's weird. I guess they don't have space for other stuff, or they just don't want to make the space. Like which like if you all missed that episode, I want to hear us rant about holiday events and what they should and should not be. That is the last episode, so check that one out. But the whole thing with it was it was still a grind, and there's no real reason to do it, and I don't know why it had to be so bad. Like I thought the way the event was set up was perfectly good. Like the naughty and nice list was cool. It was different. You don't need 3,600 points or whatever to upgrade the full trophy. Like I don't think it's worth it. And if people didn't grind it, like I don't think they missed out on anything. And the stuff itself was good for the solo rewards. I didn't have an issue with what it was. And if that's all it was, like, that's fine. I don't think it needs to be anything crazy. Um it just felt like just still a grind for no reason, basically.
Yeah.
But the fun part as well was the three new ghosts, which I just want to say I think it's fantastic that they released it to everybody all at once. There was no early thing for content creators. I don't know how much their partners knew about what was going to happen anyways, but either way, it was released for everybody and for everybody to find out. So if you wanted to be spoiled, you could, or you could just play, and there wasn't spoilers
Yeah.
early. There was nothing, and I think that is a great thing that they did with that.
I
And
agree.
I love the new Ghost. I think they are super super unique. I think the Dayan, yeah, with the just the wacky things with that is fun. The Galu is the just super interesting with the way it counters items you usually use to protect yourself. And the thing
Yep.
that I really really loved about the Ghost the most was the way that they prevented you, because like so in the past I had heard that the devs said they wanted to get away from you could go into the house on no evidence and get the ghost in one hunt. And there was a lot of worry that they were going to make how they were going to go about doing that. And it was like, well, are they going to make it to where ghosts don't always have the same ability? Like for instance, the Rev in the hunt. Is there a chance it doesn't do it one hunt? Or like how can you prevent that? And the way they did it was they'll just make ghosts that have similar footstep sounds to the Rev that you have to just double check. You can still do it in one hunt, but now you can't just be like, okay, Rev, let's get the hunt out of here and leave. And maybe like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm caught. I don't have a incense, but I know this is a slow ghost. I need to wait one more hunt to kind of verify it or do something like that. And I think that was a way better way to do it than whatever people were suggesting in the past. The same thing like with Obambo and stuff, like very similar to the twins and whatnot when it comes to footstep speed. And you mix that in with the Hantu, and so you're like, okay, I got to figure out like which one is it between these? They all sound pretty similar, but there's going to be little changes between it. And it may take you more than one hunt. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I'm perfectly happy with that. And I thought it was very, very unique. And same thing like with the Galu when it comes to, you know, using incense and crucifix and stuff that saves you, that may make it, you know, it's surviving hunts is hard enough as it is for beginners, but the more you play the game, the more it gets easier. And then these things
Yeah.
can throw a wrench in that. And I love the ideas with the ghost. They're very unique, and the implementation of it was just fantastic, I thought.
Yeah, what I liked is that they actually, with the new edition of the ghost, they changed it so that if it's not a female ghost, it's not going to be a specifically female deity or entity, rather. That helps eliminate stuff right away with the Banshee and the Davan Cowboy. Dayan, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool that they instituted the banshees can only be females now, and same thing with the Dayan, and it makes sense. And I know people were upset in the past. Like it was never a big deal to me at first. Like I didn't go crazy over it. Some people were like,
Yeah,
it was a huge deal to them. Like
right.
to me, it really wasn't. But you know, the fact that it's in there now, I mean, it helps makes it easier for
Just adds a new element to
yeah.
it.
And I think it's
Didn't bother me before either. But I do think that if they're going to keep adding more ghosts like this, then this is a good way of helping a person eliminate certain ones before they even walk in the door.
yeah, and it
It's
gives
pretty
you a
cool.
reason to look at the ghost name too, because I
Yeah,
never looked at it. Like I like
yeah,
there are so many people who go and that's the first thing to do is look at the ghost name. I never did. I just went straight in. I'm like, I'll find out what it is
yeah,
whenever it does an event or it's like I don't,
yeah.
it never mattered. But it gives you a reason to actually look at the ghost name now, which is a good thing. And I had heard somebody say, I don't know if this is true or confirmed anywhere, that they want to have every evidence combination have a ghost. So they're going to add more. I never saw that from anywhere official. I just heard people mention it. So I
I
don't
wouldn't be mad at that. But
know.
it's funny because now I'm constantly getting Gallo. Like over and over again, I'm getting Gallo. So like for the first time in my Phasmo career, it's possible that I might get a most common ghost change because it has been Phantom since the beginning.
No, that ain't changing.
I hope it does.
That ain't changing. The amount of phantoms that we got when we played together for the event, that ain't changing. If it came down to like Spirit Box and UV, I was like, oh, this about to be a phantom with dots. Let's just look for it.
Yeah, basically. That's true. But if since the event's over and they are going to allow a female ghost, so maybe it could be a banshee.
Could be. But yeah, I mean, I thought the event itself, it was still a grind, still those complaints with that, but overall, like I thought that the Winter's Chest update was one of the best updates in a while, and one that I went from not caring about at all to absolutely loving, and it's awesome. And they also released its pictures of Tanglewood that's getting reworked. And
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of opinions that people have about that.
yeah.
So upcoming soon though is I guess going to be the Tanglewood rework, and they're going to add player customization and stuff, character customization, which is cool. New like animations for the characters to turn stuff on and use things, and it's and if they do add new ghosts, they will. I'm all for any type of ghost if they want to add. If it's unique, which it's kind of like all these cool ghosts that they've added. And you go back and you get like a freaking spirit that just can't hunt for 3 minutes. Nothing special with it, which is just kind of annoying. But the picture of Tangle that people are so upset about, if you have not seen it, it's in a dev preview, that they're getting rid of the kitchen island in Tangle, and it's going to be closed off. It looks like just like a closed off kitchen, which is a shame, but I think so many people are up in arms over it, and I'm not. I
I
don't
can
really
see why.
care.
I
I
can see
don't.
why.
I understand why, because so many people love Tangled. Me, I'm just like, whatever, man. They're gonna do it to just get used to it. Like I'm
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah.
It's it's a shame, like, as Tangled is like the map that everybody thinks, but they want their own assets, because apparently, I guess, if they fully release their game, they owe royalties for some of the stuff that they purchased, is what I read. So they would just want their own assets for when they release, which, so again, completely understandable, makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Could they have made it a replica? Like, yeah, I guess they could have, unless there's something to do, like they can't have the same layout, or they could be sued. I don't know if that's the case or not. I'm just going to assume, because so many people want to do legal action all the time. But it's like, I get it. I'm not. I don't care. I know it's gonna. I knew it was gonna change. I just had that feeling. They were like, we're gonna try to keep it the same. It's like, they'll end up changing it. I don't really
Yeah.
care either way. Like, I'm just, might as well go ahead and get it out, which is probably why they released that, so people can be mad, and then by the time it releases, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on the Tangle change there?
I really don't care. I've never really been a big on looping to begin with. So I think that people are upset because that's the OG loop spot. That's the OG place where people, so it's like important to them.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't care. Like, I loved the Grafton rework. They changed some stuff, moved. It didn't matter because it had basically the same layout and feel, but they added the atmospheric parts that they wanted to add, like it being so worn down and dilapidated, um, and abandoned for many, many years, and it gave off that vibe. Finally, instead of just being, Unity Acid or whatever. So I feel like Tanglewood is going to be in the same vein. It's going to be a cheap starter home. That's the vibe they wanted to go for with that. And they're going to have looping spots. So I'm not really upset about that whole thing, but I think it will be a good map.
Yeah, I have high hopes in general, yeah, because, like, all the remastered maps are well done. They look awesome. Hopefully it won't be dark like on the farmhouse maps, but like Nell's Diner, like the lighting and everything with it, fantastic. I got nothing negative to say. But I guess, like, the footsteps can be kind of hard to hear, I guess, a bit, but I might have been intentional. But either way, like, the look of the map, the lighting on Nell's is perfect, even in the dark. Like, you can see fine, which is the way it used to be and the way it should be. So I think that the map will end up well, and if they wanted to make, like, Tangle small rooms easy to define, like where the rooms are, so players can get used to it, like make it like a tutorial thing, like a map, like, all for it, because it's hard enough to pick up things, and it would be cool
Right.
if they did have the old maps in the game, like the old Grafton, because I love the old Grafton. Rip to the
Me
chair.
too.
I'll never forget. But I don't think there's anything that they can really do with that, because they would have Unity assets, and apparently they would owe royalties for it. Now, of course, if you're on Steam, I think you can always go back to the old builds one way or another. But it'd be cool if they implemented it. But it's like, things change, things happen, and we just take it in stride and move on.
Yeah.
I'll miss the old Tangle, but you're more of a Willow fan than Tangle, aren't you?
Yeah. I really like Willow. I'm looking forward to whatever they do with that one. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Hopefully they keep those glass doors, which they did for Bleasdale. So, well, they added
Yeah.
glass doors, I guess, because
Bleasdale was gorgeous. It's just too big to play solo, I think.
it is pretty pretty big, pretty big.
Yeah. I love all the details. They did such a good job with that,
Yeah, yeah.
with all the new maps. Yeah, it's fun. I like it. I'm still a big Phasmo fan, even if I get pissed off at some of the stuff they do.
Yeah, it's still like, you know, we talked about some other ghost hunting games earlier. It's still the best ghost hunting game. It's fun to play. It's, you know, very smooth compared to other games. The no evidence stuff is fantastic. The updates they've done are good. You know, there's faults in the game. There's bugs that I wish they would fix. But, you know, no game is perfect. Hopefully everything will be when they release their 1.0 release, which I guess they say will be this year, but I don't expect that to happen.
Who knows?
But they are adding more people and more things, so they've released these updates quicker than I thought they would. Anyways, I didn't think we'd get those Diner by the end of the year, but they
Yeah.
did. And then we got 3 new
It
ghosts
is
out of
coming pretty
nowhere.
fast.
So
Yeah.
like, yeah, keep doing that. But is there any game we did not get to that you want to talk about? Or I guess well, we probably should throw out one game that took everything by storm for indie game wise, ended up selling I think over 100,000
yeah.
copies. No, I'm Not a Human. Did you play that game?
Yes, I did. And I feel like it was a bit overhyped. I was not the biggest fan.
I had it in my
It's
top 10.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it in my top 10 for a few reasons. And I don't know. Did I cut you off? Did you need to say more there at the start?
No. That's fine. Go ahead.
The art style, the drawings and stuff in that game, amazing. Like the way it
Yeah.
looks, fantastic. I think the story as well, very, very interesting. Very well done. That was fantastic. I feel like the things that set the game back. So it is a lot of reading, which usually I'm not like a big fan of, just like reading and stuff to progress in the game. But I thought like
Yeah.
the way that you did things, because again, it goes back to sort of like you're trying to figure out, is this person real or a bad guy, whatever. Which I like that, and I thought that it was interesting. It highly encourages multiple playthroughs, which I'm not like the biggest fan of games, but like your paths are not like hugely clear, or you'd feel like you'd be doing something correct, but you wouldn't. Like you would like mess something up. I'm like, okay, well, I know that this is what I got to do, so let me do this. And it was like, nope, wrong. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do different? And
Right.
I guess there is a way to save, but it's really, really weird. And so if you mess something up, you have to just replay the whole thing again. I didn't have the
Yeah.
interest to go and replay to get all the endings. And then I got the same ending like twice, and I'm just
That's
like,
what happened to me.
yeah, and
Yeah, I was not happy about that, and I didn't want to play it anymore after that
yeah, and
because I ended
so
up just getting the same thing.
and then it was annoying because I felt like one ending in the game. So you get a request. I don't know if this is an ending or not. But you get a request from somebody about something. I'm not going to spoil the game for people, but there are points in the game where I guess the government or something will take people you have in your house, so you have to make sure you have enough or whatever. But you had no choice on who they took. And if there's somebody you wanted to keep alive, you couldn't, because they would just randomly take them. I think they did an update to change that, I want to say. But it just pissed me off, because I'm like, I wanted somebody to stay alive, and then they randomly took him. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I feel like you should, like, if you kept this person alive, it probably would have a specific ending in a way. But I don't know. So I think I love the look of it. I love the story. I love trying to figure the things out. I just didn't love the multiple endings. So I can see where, you know, where you're saying it was overhyped. Like, that's why I didn't have it in the top 5. I had it top 10 because I think, you know, the stuff, I enjoyed my time with it there compared to a lot of others. And the art style is just amazing in that game. But the stuff with the multiple endings was just kind of frustrating, really.
Yeah. was a little tedious, little, and the lack of control, like you mentioned,
Yeah.
was kind of a turnoff for me for that
Yeah.
game.
So I think it was good. It was worth talking about, but like I wouldn't say it was one of like my, top 5 favorite of the year. I enjoyed the time with it, but I don't really have the motivation to go back and try to get all the endings. And that's
Right.
like my thing with a lot of games in general. I don't really have like it's just like kind of just me in general. And when it comes to games, when it comes to movies, TV shows, I'm not gonna sit there and watch something I've watched like a million times just like on my own to do it. Like if I already know what's gonna happen or whatever, there's very few exceptions where I will do that. And when it comes to games, like I'm not a big fan of New Game Plus and all this other stuff. Some games can hook me in to do that, and obviously, we all have favorite shows and movies that I could watch. Like I could watch Shawshank Redemption a million times. Love that movie, one of my all-time favorite
Yeah,
movies.
it's a good
And
one.
and if I was watching TV and trying to find something to watch and it was on TV, I'm like, all right, I'll watch it wherever it's at.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I got some shows I'd watch over and over. I've seen Futurama so many times
I need to
because I could just watch the whole thing.
I want to watch all of Futurama. I didn't like it like growing up, and then I think like when I would watch some episodes when I was older now, it's kind of like, okay, this show ain't like that bad as I thought.
Yeah,
But
there's a lot of references and stuff. You gotta.
yeah,
There's a lot of things that's not going to be funny unless you know what they're talking about. So I can understand that. But and with games too, like how much I love Happy's Humble Burger Farm. I'll play that anytime somebody wants to see me play it. Like, you want me to stream it? I'll do it again. I don't care how
I
many
gotta play
times
that
I
one.
played. Yes, you do. You need to stop putting that off.
I was there as well on my
It's
list.
the
Mortuary
best
Assistant,
game.
Happy Humble's Burger Farm, and I'm sure there's more that's on there. I have a big list. But yeah, so no, I'm not a human. It hooked me enough to do a couple run throughs for it, but getting the same ending and not a lot of like clear stuff, I just didn't have the motivation to keep doing it. But
But the story was
aggro.
good. So good. So dystopian and dreadful. That's the only thing I think was the big factor for everybody that loved it.
Yeah,
Was
and
not all the reading, not the tedious back and forth, not the lack of control of who you can sacrifice or trying to get different endings. That part didn't matter, but the dread of the story and the situation, and then knowing that the people that are supposed to be helping aren't necessarily going to help you. Like, the whole thing was just like, it was really dark in that aspect. So that's the one thing that I really did enjoy about that game.
yeah, and yeah, the way the people looked was creepy. Like just again, the
For
art, the
sure.
drawing, just like fantastic. The environment, you look out the window, see creepy shit going on out there, like great. Didn't I just didn't have the motivation to keep trying to get the other endings. And when you feel like you're making different
Because it's a long
decisions,
game.
yeah, and you're not like you're devoting like, at least an hour at minimum to get the next ending. And when it was the same one, I was
Yeah.
just like, all right, yeah, I'm done. I know I don't give a shit enough about the others, but it had a lot of like really good stuff with it. And yeah, I do think the game Aggro was talking about, the game where aliens are running a gas station. I think it was Roadside Research, which
Roadside Research.
uh
Yeah. I never played
is
that one. You guys did.
did you not play with this too, or was it only 4 players?
No.
I couldn't remember if it was four or
Yeah.
five. Yeah, that one. It's supposed to release Q1 2026, so we'll see. Don't know if because I saw it on my wish list and I was like, oh yeah, like that one was fun. It just hopefully they added a bit more stuff to it. Which, for those who are curious, Roadside Research, not necessarily a horror game, but it is like you're aliens, and you're trying to act human, and you're running a gas station, and so you're trying to, make money and do all that to get upgrades and try to make sure the FBI doesn't come to take you out. Very interesting game. I really, really enjoyed the demo, but then it did get like super crazy repetitive. And there wasn't like a whole lot of like what are we working towards kind of thing. So hopefully there's more stuff to go on when you have it. So trying to see if they update about it. I think they are still working on it because they released an update, or just like a dev update in whatchamacallit, December.
Were you going to
December.
mention the other game?
Which one's the other game?
Schedule 1.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Well, Schedule 1 was probably like hands down like, well, you had like R.E.P.O 1A and Schedule 1 was 1B for just in general, just like my games of the year in general. Uh,
Yeah, we played it a lot.
love Schedule 1. It's extremely addicting. Great, great, great job. Uh, so yeah, I have absolutely like the updates that's happened with that game have been great. They're still updating it. They added people to the dev team now. So there's going to be more updates. Again, it's not horror related, but I love Schedule 1. Love, love, love. Nothing
Yeah.
negative to say.
Yeah, I was wondering how he would finish like the logistics drivers and stuff by himself. Like I'm glad to hear he's got somebody else helping him with that. That's a
Yeah.
big project.
Yeah, and they have their own studios, so they're hoping that the updates are going to be more frequent and better and all that other stuff. So it should be good. Should be good. Yeah, because I didn't know how. But again, I enough people told me that it would probably be pretty good. Like I don't know. I was just like, I don't give a shit because I'm not a big like marijuana person in general. Like I don't give a shit if people want to smoke it, whatever you do, you. I hate the whole culture around weed. It's just like extremely annoying the
Yeah.
way some people talk about it and make it like their whole life. And so a game that
Yeah.
like came like that, I'm just like, I don't know if this is gonna be for me. Like I hate the culture around weed and what people do, and they just fucking gas it up so much. Like there was somebody who went to high school, not high school, I think both high school and college, who like one time was like, seriously, what is like a negative effect of weed at all? Like, it still had negative effects. You're still fucking smoking.
Yeah.
You're still gonna fuck up your lungs with it. What is it? Like there's negative effects. It's not this greatest be all end all thing, but
Right.
yeah, it's just like, so that's why I was like hesitant about it, because I was just like, if that's all it is, it just has to do with like weed and all this other stuff. Like, it doesn't, not really my thing. But from seeing it, it was like more wacky and fun, and then the selling aspect and like it
I
was.
think it was enough it's enough detached from reality to, be available to everybody, not just like people who make drugs their whole personality. It's its own entity, you know. It's not
Yeah,
really focused on the culture. It's just like a tycoon, like a farming sim. You're working towards goals and playing with relationships with people, and that's more the focus than the actual drugs. The drugs are just a fun way of getting different effects. It changes the way your vision is, changes the way the music sounds, which is not realistic at all. And I think that's what makes it more fun, even for people who don't care about drugs at
yeah,
all.
because it's about building up your empire and getting customers, getting upgrades, running like
Right.
different farms and stuff with it. Like there's a lot of stuff to work towards. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't take itself seriously.
I look
Like,
forward to them adding more furniture
yeah.
to buy.
The only thing is like, when it comes to the shrooms update in that game, is it even worth it to make mushrooms in that game? Like, I feel like you just lose money all the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just for fun. I voted for drivers because that's the only thing that I can't not do in the game. I can automate everything except, taking weed from one place to go process it somewhere else and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I'm sure all that will be there. But then what are you even playing for? What are you gonna do? Just sell the
Well,
drugs? Well, no,
you,
you still
you
want to give
just
it to
you just
dealers
keep
too. Just
yeah.
drive around, do nothing.
Yeah, basically just smoke some
Well,
granddaddy fuel and
you're
float
also a big
around.
fan of idle games, so let's put
True.
this into perspective. That's why Zoth once saw that.
Well, once the end game comes, it's just kind of repetitive.
Yeah,
I
10
think that's
million
why
is a
they wanted
fucking
shrooms
grind.
too. Yes, it is. We still haven't hit it.
No, never hit it. And I felt like we've losing money since the shrooms. That's why I'm like, all right, maybe it's not, but it's really
Oh,
expensive to make those, and they don't sell for that much.
I think it's
That's I'm just
just
going
for
crazy because
novelty.
yeah, you got to spend like over $200 just on the mushrooms themselves, and like
Yeah,
I don't know what the best mix is for shrooms. I don't know. I'm sure somebody figured it out, but
probably.
either way, it's just very interesting. I mean, another game that I really enjoyed was Crime Simulator. We still play that a bunch. I thought that's
Yeah.
a lot of fun. Another game that released in 2025. That was I'm gonna guess it's an indie dev. They released a lot of games, all very kind of similar to each other, but I I loved Crime Simulator. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, we just played last night.
Yeah. Yeah, still play it, still get updates. I think they're gonna have their 1.0 update or more, whatever, this year. I want to
That
say,
is fun. Kind of like horror, right?
kind
No.
of. That fucking sometimes the police in that game scare the shit out of me. It did last night. Fucking shot me out of nowhere. I'm
Yeah.
like, God, hey. Like, yeah, it's got some jump scares in there. I think we can consider
Fair enough.
it. But I think that's
Oh,
pretty much it. Scary to watch people poop.
scary to watch people.
Yeah, basically. Basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there any other
Or do their
games?
exercises. Well, there's a lot of
YMCA.
games.
Yeah, that we absolutely needed to we missed out on talking about. I think we talked about everything. I think I talked about everything in my. We did not talk about Backrooms Cleanup Crew, which released.
That's
That
in your
put
top
that
10, right?
that was in my top 10.
That
I
was a good
found it
one.
very unique, very fun, just crazy, but it can also be chill if you turn off certain things. But a unique take on the Backrooms games. And I think it does have a demo. The biggest issue I had with that one was it like when we got it, it didn't have a lot of like content with it. It felt kind of bare
Yeah.
bones, but they've added a bunch of stuff since then. So I still kind of
Yeah.
think like, wait on a sale, but there's still at least better stuff going on with it. But
Yeah. That's a good one. And the Backrooms update was a little bit of a disappointment.
yeah, that game's now fully released, but of course it first released like back in 2022, so I don't consider it a 2025 game, but if you wanted to be technical, it just fully released this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like all the stuff had been fine with it. Again, another one of those things where I don't care about trying to find secret levels and doing all that. Not my biggest thing. So, anything else? You want?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well,
That's all I had planned.
thank you everybody for listening. Be sure to check out the previous episode when we talk more about the holiday events. And we'll see you next time. As far as for this, I may just go back and play Quarantine Zone for a little bit.